Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Boss Rush Podcast, a great place to play games and be better. I'm one of your hosts, Corey Dirrig, and alongside me, as always, is the PC muscle race himself, LeRon Dawkins.
What's poppin'?
Hi, LeRon.
Hey, Corey.
Did you finish those gummy bears already?
Oh, no.
I thought maybe...
That's a 2-pound bag. What do I look like?
I don't know.
What do I look like?
A large man who enjoys gummy bears? I don't know.
Okay, as long as you can call me Kirby.
No, we don't... Look, that's just an insult, okay? That's just a straight up insult. Okay,
Stop being Kirby.
Look, we can talk shit about Kirby. Stephanie's not here.
I'm still here.
Stephanie, I got you. I'm on your side.
I am still here. Carabelle, there's that good old Christian boy.
We love Kirby.
Speaking of good old Christian boy, also here is PK Power Pat Klein.
That's right. Before I became apostatized.
There's nothing good or Christian about this guy.
Yeah.
I've heard his mouth after we cut the recordings.
Yeah.
He looks just like all the Christians around here.
Oh,
You know-
oh,
I'm technically Mormon, but if I were to go back to church, I'd be excommunicated. No joke. No joke.
Excommunicado.
Oh man. Anyways, we have a very special guest tonight. We met him at PAX East. Cordy, yikes, actually, fangirled over him at PAX East, and that's how we met. We have CGDannyB here.
Hello. What's poppin'? I see you didn't read my intro. I had the whole, the most handsomest dude who played in games that I've ever met, but that's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
myself.
you know. Why don't you tell everybody who you are? I mean, why are you important? Why are you here? Why
Why are you so damn handsome?
Yeah.
Well, I think my mama
look,
for
he's
that
got-
one, but
He's got Kirby in his hand. We gotta
Yeah.
slow down a little bit.
see, nice little hidden behind Shovel Knight. So there's not a whole lot I can do there.
I mean,
This is a video podcast and audio podcast. I don't know how much of this matters for like the viewers. So they
it's video. It's all
Okay,
video.
cool, bet. Just making sure. Make it sure. All of a sudden, I'm like, oh, audio. Then we're just talking all these visual things. Anyway, hey, I'm Danny, CGDannyB, and I've been making content since like 2017. And the last couple of years, we said let's hyper focus on indie games because they just do it better, and people don't recognize that, and they should. So, yeah, in a one-off tweet talking about how awesome Shovel Knight was, Corey said, "Hey, you want to come on the show?" And I said, "Yeah, I could do that. I can make time." And here we stand, just loving Shovel Knight and other things.
I told you, man. Anybody who loves Shovel Knight is a friend of mine.
Okay, and listen, there's a club.
I know. I have all my amiibo back there.
Yacht Club.
Yeah.
I didn't even mean to do that, but it worked out.
Where can people find your love of indie games?
Oh, well, they can find it all over the internet. There's TikTok, there's YouTube, there's Twitch, there's Instagram, there's Twitter, X, whichever one, at CGDannyB. Different types of videos where I'm talking about upcoming ones for the month, reviews, a couple of embargoes coming up. But yeah, we just always talk about indie games, all the platforms, all the places.
Nice. Well,
Yeah.
you are very welcome here. Boss Rush, especially the website side, definitely covers a ton of indie games. So
Damn right. Let's go.
so speaking of indie games, we've got a lot of spotlights coming up, but we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. Danny, thanks for joining us tonight.
Of
Really
course.
appreciate your time.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And everybody out there, we appreciate you. If you want to support the Boss Rush podcast and the Boss Rush Network, you can go over to our Patreon at patreon.com/Boss Rush Network. Or if you're just as little as $1, you can get the pre-show, early access to After Dark, and all kinds of other perks. Subscribing to tiers on our Patreon can get you all those things. Spoiler casts, I forgot about that. Voting on Video Game Book Club, that kind of stuff. As always, though, your viewership and listenership is enough for us. You can subscribe to us on YouTube at youtube.com/Boss Rush Network, or you can, if you listen on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, you can leave us one of them nice 5-star ratings and a nice review. Look, I talked nice about Elden Ring 3 episodes in a row. Okay.
We're about to make it number 4, baby.
Can I break the streak? I'll break the streak.
No,
I'll
because
do
look,
it.
look, here's the thing. We talked neutral about, was it Elden Ring or it was Elden Ring, and someone left us a 2-star review because they said that we never played it. And I was like,
Oof.
oh, look, guy, I played it. and our guest that day had played a ton of it.
And these are the type of people I'm talking about in the comment sections. What am I talking about? You got to pay for the pre-show to find out. Anyway.
Yeah, look at this guy. He's hired. He can be our marketer.
I'm in.
Work right there next to Cordy. I'm sure she'd like that.
Yeah, I'm sure she would. She wouldn't get anything done. She'd just be staring at him. Being like,
I'm there. I'm glistening. I bring attention.
All right. Yeah. Sexy.
Oh, shucks.
You can find all of our content, our reviews, our listicles, our features, our banters, and more over on bossrush.net. By the time this episode goes up, the site will look brand new, or at least like it's from 2015 and not from 2003. So very, very, very excited about that. Anyways, current and upcoming content. Pat, you and Stephanie interviewed a ton of people the past couple weeks.
Yeah, I mean, especially Stephanie. Stephanie's been absolutely rocking it. She had a spotlight with Tanat, who is developing a game called Building Relationships, where you literally play as a building and you make relationships with other buildings. Or you could just go fishing, but instead of fish, it's cars.
What a cool looking game, dude. Building relationships is wild.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. Other ones we did was we talked to Ritual Studios, who are making a musical RPG called Fretless. That one's going to be coming out though a little bit later, in a couple months. We just finished talking to Rocket Adrift, the developers of Psychroma, and they're a fun bunch. The Psychroma is their third game, and they talked about a lot of like the evolution of like how their games have evolved from where they originally started doing web cartoons.
Their art for their games is stellar. I gotta say, it's really cool.
Yeah, it's a fun one. And also, I believe Stephanie did talk to the creator of Gory.
Yeah, John Calderon of Angry Demon Studio.
Yep.
That'll be coming out at the first week of August. So very, very excited.
Mm-hmm. So yeah,
we gotta do that every other week thing. You know, can't be pushing them all out at once.
Good call.
Plus we got 2 book clubs coming out soon. So,
Yep, we're looking forward to the book clubs. We got Stray coming out here. I think by the time you hear this, it'll either be out or just coming out very soon.
You know what, LeRon? You can get out.
We're gonna create another book club with a homemade book called LeRon Go Fuck Himself.
Ooh.
It's a game where you literally take whatever object that you can find and you shove it up LeRon's ass.
Ooh.
Okay, doesn't sound that fun.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, LeRon, spit is the devil's lube. Okay.
But
we're talking about games.
Hey, you played Cuphead, you know.
Listen, yeah, no, that's valid.
Also, we are going to be doing Paper Mario Book Club with our good old friend Celeste from the OG Boss Rush.
Confirmed. Stamp it.
That's right. As well as one of my friends and also Twitterverse influencer, Taylor, who goes by Cute Idiot on Twitter. She's pretty big in the Genshin scene.
Nice. As for me, I have an upcoming episode of Fun and Games podcast Side Quests. It's coming out on Hellblade 2. That should be out either this week or next week. I'm working on scheduling for the Last Word Destiny podcast. Really trying to get that scheduled down. And then Stephanie and I interviewed Aaron Grubb, musician, who is famous in our world for his Zelda renditions. He just put out a new one from the Oracle games, which is very, very fun. So check that out. And Danny, what do you got coming up? You have a lot of stuff.
Oh, we got a couple things. There's a lot of redacteds right now.
Redacted.
So
Whoa.
we have to find the timelines. But the day this episode is going out should be the same day, as long as everything gets done. My Ranger, a role puzzling adventure, should be coming out. I'll be having my review on that one. Also, last week, I'm doing this in the weird future to the past. Last week, we put our review of Shim. Me and Topher did our episode of Playlog where we talked about that. Did we love it? Did we hate it? Maybe. We'll find out. And then shortly after, we should be doing our episode of Night in the Woods. We're doing our first book club. Topher's favorite indie game, Night in the Woods. This is my first time ever playing it. And I'm excited to sit down and talk about that one. And then hopefully that snowballs into our monthly book club type deal. So yeah, check out all the indie games.
Nice.
Very nice. I know Steph's a big fan of Night in the Woods.
Ooh, listen, if she wants to write in and tell what, I give you the doc.
She probably would.
I want to hear it.
Miss you, Steph. Come back.
That reminds me, the other book club that came out was the Destiny one that's out. It's more of like a series retrospective and I don't know. Ed and I talked about the trailer, so that was pretty fun. But anyways, let's talk about what we've been playing. Speaking of things, I was going to ask LeRon if he had anything coming up, but I know it's not true. It's just a big bag of gummy bears. So he's also muted. So also,
damn, I don't know. Get you twice like that.
He's also still muted.
That's crazy.
Still muted.
Did you do that? Did you do that?
I swear I did not do that.
He asked if he came over there and turned
Ryan,
off
you
your
still
microphone.
drunk.
Is that what it is?
Well, see, since I'm technically the producer of this room, I can mute everybody at will.
Oh,
And I did that one time.
Because I was muted. I was muted on the app, but all of a sudden I looked and I'm muted on the microphone. I'm like, what the hell?
Danny, you're our guest.
Me?
Yeah. So you're going to go first, but I have a question for you.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
You're playing Concord.
I was playing Concord, yes.
The upcoming hero shooter on PlayStation and I assume PC at the same time, because that would be dumb if it wasn't at the same time.
Yep.
A lot of big devs behind this, a lot of ex-Bungie devs, Halo, Destiny. How do you like it? Or not like it?
I really enjoyed my time with Concord. I thought it was cool. As someone, like, we had a pre-show, we talked about like my experience with Destiny, eating my save. I don't play it anymore, but I have like those Destiny 1 memories of like really getting into Crucible and having a fun time with that. And this has that same energy. It is like Destiny Crucible if it was mixed with Overwatch. I ended up finding Lark. He is this mushroom man who is super cheap. You can shoot little spores out and they kind of linger in the air. And when someone walks by him, they just break up and slam into someone. Half health, maybe full kill somebody. It's pretty great. I can already see people being like, will you play Lark, loser? But off the rip, it's heavy. It's a heavy game. Everyone moves super slow. I definitely adjusted to that pretty quickly. It took a few rounds to get in, but it's hefty. Like it's chunky no matter what character you're playing. There were only a couple game modes you had to level up to unlock some of them. I want to play more, but PlayStation's process right now is let's make a multiplayer game. It's $40 at launch, so not that big retail price. And then you're gonna have your microtransactions, your battle passes, your skins, etc. I don't think Concord is worth $40 to me with as little as I play multiplayer games. I'm very much I got an hour before stream. Let me play a couple matches of Fortnite or Valorant or something that's typically free to play. That being said, I want to see this game succeed. I think people can enjoy it. I think people will have a good time with it. But I think at $40 price point, it's going to be tough when you have all these other free to play ones.
Yeah, that was the big thing with me when I saw it. I was like, man. And like I wonder if they're going to try to hit lightning in a bottle twice because of Helldivers, right? I mean, Helldivers hit huge, and I wonder if this game will do better on PC than it will on console. But it just like everything about this game, I'm like, man, Overwatch is free to play, Fortnite's free to play, Halo's technically free to play if you're Xbox. Like, Apex, Valorant, like all these games are free to play. Like, why are you and I get like, you know, the heroes and stuff will be free after launch, right? Like,
Yeah.
and they'll monetize you some other way, right? But like, man, that's just that's a tough pill to swallow.
It is, yeah, especially in, I mean, even we'll go as far back as like 2019 saying like this is just the new like format for multiplayer games. And I'll always use the example of like indie multiplayer games because it's an indie, so it already is like underground to most people. But if the servers aren't staying up and people aren't playing the game, it'll eventually shut down, which like all the multiplayer games do that. It all happens eventually. There will be a day Fortnite's like, see ya, it was a nice 14,000 year run or whatever. But I can see the finish line on Concord, and I'm hoping it's a blurry finish line. I'm hoping it like I can just keep seeing it push back and back. But I can see as this one comes out, I think in a couple months, I forget the actual release date, but it's tough to see the masses put the $40 into it. I don't know if it'll hit that success, but I can see when it hits the free on PlayStation Plus. And then everyone starts playing it, and then Steam players like, all right, well, if everyone has it now, I guess I'll get into it. But maybe it's like 50% off or something. I don't know.
That's what it should be. It should be that first month. It should be free to everybody on PlayStation Plus. That would be my bet for Sony, especially if you're going to try to monetize it in other ways. Like,
yeah,
I mean, that's it. No offense to Rocket League, but it worked for Rocket League, right? I mean,
worked for Rocket League, but it didn't work for Destruction All-Stars. So like it does depend on the game, you know, like
yeah.
And I think Concord could do it. I think Concord could be there. It'll have it like it's already had the hate of like, what's this ugly brown people in my game? Like that was all of Twitter.
Jeez.
Yeah, well, right next to First Descendant being like, look at all these people with big asses and pretty faces. Like we didn't get that in Concord. We have, you know, realistic people, I guess, and people don't like that. They want pretty gamers.
I really liked the tone. I saw a tone piece trailer on YouTube today when I was watching something at work, and I kind of liked it. Like, I know a lot of people are like yelling at it because they're like, "Oh, it's ripping off Guardians of the Galaxy." I'm like, "Oh, I kind of like that." I'm like, you know, my whole hesitation is like, if I want to know that this game is going to succeed before I drop $40 on it. I don't have a problem spending money on games like most people these days seem to have. But like you said, if nobody's going to be there to play it, like, I don't know. I think it looks interesting. And I think the one thing it does have going for it too is like only Overwatch exists in the hero shooter space right now, right? There's not much other competition out there, right? That I can even think of off the top of my head. So
Bleeding Edge still online? Did they shut that one down yet? Or?
Oh, jeez.
It's got potential.
Don't get me started on Bleeding Edge.
I think one of the things that Overwatch has is it's got some really good lore behind its characters. And I know Sony promised with this game that as time goes by, it's going to be releasing like story content
every week.
Yeah.
Every week. So
which that's a big undertaking. I like to imagine they have it pre-production, it's ready to go. They're not like we're going to start working on them as the game comes out, but I have my beef with Blizzard. I held on for so long, be like, guys, when this story drops for Overwatch 2, we're so in. It is going to be so awesome. And then when they canceled, I'm like, you know what? That was it. I've been over backwards for you, Blizzard. I tried to push for Overwatch 2, and now you took away the only thing I was motivated for. So I'm out. Yeah. Uninstalled like instantly.
Man, Overwatch 2, what a man. Anyways,
still love the characters, but like, damn, come on, man.
Remember when Overwatch was the biggest thing on the planet for like
so many hours, so many loot boxes?
Oh my gosh, I quit Destiny for Overwatch. That says something about me. So, oh man, good times. What else are you playing? Anything more interesting than Concord?
Of course, there's a more interesting game than Concord. He's going to talk about it.
I put a Ranger on there, but I'm going to make them come to my channel for that one. Yeah, I'm just going to give you guys my free content. No, I'll give you.
Is it good? Is it good? Can you tell me that?
It is fun. I've enjoyed. Yeah. I won't go too into. I'm sure I'll have a deeper conversation there, but it's fun. For anyone who doesn't know, it's a top-down puzzle game. The way it works is the entire floor is like tile-based. So every step you take moves the entire lane, whether you're going up or down, left or right. Like the first instance, like someone's on a ladder and it's like in a narrow path, you have to go that way. You move just a little much, they fall over. Like, why are you always causing me problems? Stop! You're ruining my life. Leave this town. So you go to leave the town, find some things. There's some more puzzles. Eventually, you're picking up tools like shears to help shear sheep, or giant foot statues to hold down buttons. It's a very like the mechanics are very simple. The new thing is like the sliding part of it. That's really cool. I want to say 4 or 5 hours, give or take, to beat, cutting out like the times where I got trapped on a puzzle. I'm like, I don't know where to go. But it does have, I was stubborn, but there is like an accessibility feature where you can just skip most of the puzzles. It'll put a tile at the front. You stand on it and you confirm, do you want to skip? It'll teleport you right past it. It doesn't solve it. It just moves you past the puzzle and then you keep going. So I really dig a Ranger. It's a fun one. I think it'll find an audience, like the very niche audience. I'm hoping to see more people find it and fall in love with it. But yeah, I really enjoyed a Ranger.
Yeah, no, that one's on my radar, so I'm glad you like it.
Yeah, fun one. Thanks, Pop Agenda, by the way. I got a key for that one. I should mention that just in case.
Nice. Awesome. And you said you're doing a review on this? A video review?
Yes. Yep. Shouldn't be too long. There's not like a whole lot to talk about, but there'll be a video review over on youtube.com/CGDannyB. Go over there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. We'll direct everybody over there for this.
As you should. That's what I'm talking about. Preach.
So is that it? That's it?
I don't know if I can just knock it out quick. I just started it, but I started playing 9 Souls.
Ooh.
The week Bo Path of the Teal Lotus comes out, the two games look very similar. It is basically 2D like Sekiro. It's like very parry heavy. Started one night, got away for a couple weeks, kind of forgot how to play. So I'm only like 4 or 5 hours into it. It's one of those things where I hate Dark Souls. Sorry, fan. Don't leave them a 2-star review. You can come over to my podcast and leave the 2-star review. But I'm not a Dark Souls guy, but usually anything that kind of takes a different perspective on it. Like I loved Another Crab's Treasure. 9 Souls, putting it on a whole different plane, like the 2D thing. I'm really digging it. I'm really enjoying 9 Souls. Need a little more time into it to give like any deeper thoughts, but it's sick. It's gorgeous. The music's awesome. Beating a boss makes you feel so damn good. I get it, Souls guys. I get it. Just not the From ones, not the From Soft ones.
Not the front ones.
Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, no, that's it for me now.
Nice. LeRon, what are you playing? Tekken?
Tekken 8. Yeah, like we're coming up on Evo. Tekken 8. New characters getting ready to drop real soon here. And that's where I've been investing my time. Also, I am trying to get ready for a local Tekken tournament out here. So that's the other thing too. Like I got a buddy of mine has been really pushing me. He's like, "Hey man," he's like, "I will even pay your entry fee. You're gonna go play in this tournament. And you're gonna win the pot." And I'm like, "You have a lot of faith in somebody that I feel like I am trash." But no, like he's got this thing in his head that is like nobody good is gonna be out there except for me, and I'm like, man, you have a lot of faith in me. You've only watched me play like an hour's worth of this game since it's been out. Yeah. So just Tekken 8, just waiting for the new character to drop, waiting for Evo to happen. Because anytime tournament season happens, like it always gets me really amped to play the fighting games that I play. So like it's like normally nowadays it's Tekken, but back when I used to be playing like all over the place with Street Fighter, Tekken, the Dragon Balls, the Dragon Ball Fighters, all that stuff. Like tournament season always has got me in the mood to play these games because it's always great just being able to watch like the high level competition and seeing some of the wild stuff that's happening. It's like, ooh, how come I'm not doing that? So yeah. That's it for me. No Monster Hunter stories this past week, and I don't know. Like I'm hot and cold to Ghost of Tsushima right now, but that's not saying anything bad about the game. It's saying more bad about myself that I still cannot push myself to play this game the way I
suck.
Want. I do.
To be fair, I haven't played it yet either.
Oh, gentlemen,
it's fun. I'm enjoying it, but I just am not playing it enough. That's all.
What a fucking masterpiece, bro! I love Ghost of Tsushima so much.
I wonder if I put it on. I wonder if I put it in my my ROG Ally. Will I actually play it more?
Nope. I'm gonna say no.
I was putting some hope in the air. I was like, maybe.
Because I'm playing on my PC. Full expect out and everything. Like I mean, like I turned everything up because like I got a new graphics card and everything. I turned everything up and yeah, like I cannot break this game.
No, you know what's going to happen, LeRon? You're going to put it on your ROG Ally. You're going to boot it up or install it, and while it's installing, you're going to start playing Monster Hunter again, and then you're going to forget all about it.
Yeah, I know that's the problem. Monster Hunter takes away a lot of other games' showtime.
Yeah, I know. I know the feeling. I mean, look, you have Monster Hunter. I have Destiny. Pat probably has Trails of Cold Steel 642.
Oh, 642's out? Shit.
You playing anything else, LeRon?
No, that's it right now. That's I did I did purchase what's that game? Kaku?
Kaku, yeah.
Yeah, Ancient Seal. Like I did purchase that, and I installed it on the ROG Ally. I like games like that, like like that, because like it just reminds me of Kena Bridge of Spirits all over again,
Oh, man.
So I'm like, as soon as I saw like the trailer for that, I was like, ooh, I want to play this. So I bought it and I installed it in the ROG Ally. I just haven't started yet.
I can finally play Kena because it's coming to Xbox soon.
Yeah, you can.
Even though my PlayStation's sitting over there and it's installed.
Yeah, you missed out. You missed out when it was free.
No.
Is it still on PS Plus?
Yeah, it's on PS Plus. It's installed on my PlayStation right now.
Okay.
I just
okay.
hate the dual.
I thought you missed the window for that because
No.
it's part of the regular library now.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the catalog. Yeah.
There was a time when it was just free, free exclusive for a little bit.
Yeah. Pat, what are you diving into?
Well, I finished 2 games over the week. The first one finally being the Trails of Cold Steel number 4, the final Trails of Cold Steel, and then they recasted the main character from that series in the next game.
They recast him.
Well, they didn't recast him. They casted him back to being the main character in the next game, Trails into Reverie.
Oh.
But it's kind of funny. Anyways, yeah, it took me 110 hours to beat this game.
Wow.
Almost, I'd say close to 400 hours for the entire Cold Steel series.
Wow. I'd say I don't.
Level shit, dog.
I'd say I don't have time, but I checked my Destiny time the other day because somebody asked me, and I have 4,600 hours in Destiny. So who am I?
Mine's only a tenth of that.
I know.
Yeah. But it was an amazing conclusion to the Cold Steel story. It just, the way all the characters got together, the conclusions that happened, I really felt pushed the lore forward quite a bit. So I am looking forward to seeing what happens in Trails into Reverie. I'm trying not to jump right back into that series just yet and force myself into a burnout. So I decided to pick up something else. Something a little short, a little furry, a little old school.
Oh, Pat, you gotta save that for After Dark. Come on.
I'm talking about Daxter.
Oh,
the PSP game that they finally released it on the PlayStation 5. They've been doing a lot of releasing of these old titles on PS5 just like last 2 months. Because we got Sly Cooper a couple weeks ago. We got, I think they did Lego Star Wars 2. They did Daxter. They are releasing Ratchet and Clank Size Matters is coming out soon. But I decided to pick up Daxter because I never had a PSP. And I really like the Jax series.
Hell yeah.
nice.
Mm-hmm. This one
Ready at Dawn did that.
Yeah, Ready at Dawn did it. And you can kind of see that it's not quite up to Naughty Dog's Jax series, but it's still pretty good. I am glad, though, it is short because it did start overstaying its welcome a little bit towards the last level. They wanted to introduce some stealth mechanics, and it just wasn't working that well. But besides that, it is a short game. It is pretty hilarious. Jax this takes place between Jax 1 and Jax 2. Jax is captured during this time period, and Daxter decides to go and look for him, but then maybe, I don't know if he forgets or just stops doing it, but 2 years later, he gets a job as an exterminator, and now you're running around and exterminating bugs around the city until he realizes, oh yeah, I'm supposed to be rescuing Jax. But
Nice.
it's a fun little game. It's a very linear 3D platformer, and yeah, it's also incredibly easy to platinum. That was my 86 platinum.
Hell yeah.
You only need to collect half the precursor orbs in this game. There's 1,000. You only need 500 to get the platinum.
We love that.
1,000.
Mm-hmm.
I think there was only 100 in Jack 1.
I don't
it
remember.
up.
I did platinum Jack 1 though. I don't think I'll platinum Jack 2 though.
No, Jack 2 and 3 suck. Jack 1
No, 3
is
was
where it's
good.
at.
I like 3.
Jack 1's where it's at. Jack 4, actually, also very good in my
Are we
opinion.
talking about Combat Racer X, or are we talking about Lost Frontier?
Lost Frontier.
Okay.
Not a Naughty Dog game.
Nope.
Came out after Uncharted, I think, actually.
No, what's crazy is you can get the entire Jack series on PlayStation 5.
I know.
Every single one of them's out now.
Finally.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Man, Jack 1. What a game. I love that game.
I love Jack and Daxter, the Precursor Legacy. I love it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I'm
Love
a
it.
Ratchet kid. Definitely a Ratchet and
Yeah.
Clank kid over Jack.
Well, you picked the right franchise because it's the only one
Yeah,
still
that's the only one.
Me.
Yeah.
Let's go Ratchet.
Until Spider-Man kicks him out.
Listen. I think they realize Ratchet maybe not annually like these Marvel games, but I think we're sticking with Ratchet. I think he's hanging around.
I hope so too. I feel like Sony, like, I was talking to Steph the other day, and I said that PS2 3D platformers is a lost art now. Like, those were good days. The Ratchet series, the Sly series, Jax. You also had Tack, Ty the Tasmanian Tiger. It's like you had all these, like, not really open world, but they're more linear 2D platformer or 3D platformers, but they were so good.
Yeah.
And now it's like you don't have that anymore. And anything, not even in
AAA
indies.
space. Oh, a handful. I mean, Ukulele, that you hit or miss with that one, but you got like Clive and Wrench. You got A Hat in Time.
Mm-hmm,
You could argue Tinykin, a little bit different, but
I did like
Penny's Big Breakaway.
I think it's really good. Penny's Big Breakaway, which people are lukewarm on. There's another one, Ronnie's Roll Up, something like that. I have to look that one up, but
Okay.
Man, speaking
I
of
just
ukulele,
expect more.
Remember how
no,
promising Ukulele 1 was, and then it was kind of like meh. But then Impossible Layer.
Yeah.
Well,
But we're making the first one, so maybe it's great.
They're adding a lot of quality of life improvements, such as a map.
Mm-hmm.
Putting a map in the game so you don't get lost.
Nice.
Ingenious, I know.
Oh, maps. Who'd have thought?
Mm-hmm.
Who'd have thought?
And finally, I picked up today Bow Path of the Teal Lotus because it has several art styles that I really love. I love the Okami, like Japanese scroll art style that a lot of the game is based on, as well as the Japanese folklore that the characters are based on. The game has that Hollow Knight like aesthetic to it, and definitely uses like the Hollow Knight's healing system, where you kind of have to beat up bad guys to accumulate energy, and then use that energy to heal yourself, like bit by bit. The game that really like it reminded me of was The Messenger, because
you're mentioning all my babies.
Because this game features a strike and reset method to platforming. And what that is that you can jump once. And if you strike something, then you can jump again. And as long as you keep striking, you can keep jumping in midair until you miss a strike and then you fall. But that also applies to your dash as well, where, you can hit someone, you can jump, twice and do a dash, but then you'd have to hit something again, whether it be a lantern or an enemy, to, be able to reset that and continue to do that. And a lot of the platform puzzles require you to have that jumping jump/reset maneuver to it. So to say that, I'm gonna say it's a very hard game. The platforming reminds me of almost like late level Hollow Knight, like
Okay.
right away from the start. So you have to be you have to pick up the reset system pretty fast, because they're going to start like applying those, especially like I would say probably like your third area in. There's a particular part that just requires like absolute mastery of that system. Otherwise, you're not going to progress, forward.
Gotcha.
But other than that, like, it is a beautiful game. The characters are great. Just the colors and just everything that's going on the screen is just so good. It's so beautiful. It's like you have these little like specters sometimes just like floating around, or you see like the moon, but it's got this like swirliness going on because it's a Japanese scroll, and it's the colors just pop. And the rays, even the moon rays, whoo, they are beautiful. Like,
Nice.
You're looking at art.
I'm so excited. I got my key this morning. I haven't had a chance to play with the other 17 redacted things in my back pocket that I got before that. But yeah, I played the demo for that one during Next Fest. Oh, I had it was one of those late night ones, or like as I saw the like, thanks for playing the demo show, I'm like, that's the worst feeling in the world. I want to keep playing.
Where
yeah,
did the demo end? I'm just curious.
I think it was like right after the first boss. I think you fight like there's like the mini boss, and then there's like I think a major boss you fight. No, getting across the bridge.
Okay. All right. Then the platforming part I was talking about, that's on the bridge.
Okay. Yes.
So you might know what I was talking about then.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
Anyways, yeah. It's good. It's good. It's hard as hell. But at least they're very generous with the checkpoints.
Yeah.
they're like usually a couple screens apart from each other, which is good because you're gonna die a lot. But if you do die a lot, it does give you the accessibility feature to turn on invincibility and unlimited mana.
That's my kind of game.
But I don't know how that works when you fall off a platform. So I don't know if that would just like continue to move on the platform, or if you still have to master the platforming to continue forward, regardless of whether or not you get hit. But yeah, great game if you want a challenge, or just something really pretty to look at.
Nice.
Yep.
Is that it? Is that all you?
I mean, I played more, but that's all I want to talk about.
Okay. Well, guys, I did something that I don't normally do. First of all, I turned on my PlayStation.
Oh my goodness.
And it still works, huh?
Wow, look at this guy bragging.
I know. I turned it on. I played so here's the thing. We played Spider-Man for book club. What? We played Spider-Man 2 for book club, but I played Spider-Man Miles Morales and Spider-Man 2 all back to back to back. And I was going through my trophies because I was installing Final Fantasy 16's DLC because I want to play. I still haven't played Final Fantasy 16 past the demo. But I was like, man, I only have one trophy left to get in Spider-Man before I platinum this thing. And it was to get all of the do all of like the fights in each district. Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
And so I booted it up, and I'm like, oh, I'm 97% done. So I just went in and platinum Spider-Man remastered, like, no big deal. Just
as we do,
just fighting crimes,
I'm proud of you. You got yourself a platinum.
I know. It's my second one.
Did it feel good when you saw that trophy just materialize in the corner?
No, because I have notifications turned off.
He sounded like, I guess I did it.
It's almost as good as a feeling as that like less than 10% chime on the Xbox.
Oh man, that's a good chime.
That is a good chime.
That's a good chime. I got one of those the other day too, and something, but I don't remember what it was. But can I just talk about how much I hate the DualSense controller?
You may not.
That controller sucks.
No.
PlayStation 4
No.
controller is so much better.
No, I'm sorry. I like the PS4 controller, but slandering the PS5 controller is the easiest way to get punched in the face.
I'm with LeRon. I don't. What's your beef? What's your beef with the DualSense?
Yeah. Please explain.
I just don't like the way it feels in my hand. It's like awkwardly wide at the bottom. It's like
Awkwardly wide at the
like
bottom?
it's oddly heavy on the top, like in the middle, and like I don't know. I don't like it, man.
Hold on, where's my PS4? Hold on.
I don't like it. I don't like it. I like it.
It's got
Because I feel like the
though. Like
I like the PS4 controller. Okay, because I have a PS4 controller in my hand right now, along with DualSense controller. I'll be honest with you, because Sony has basically kept the same aesthetic and feel with every
the Uncharted blue one.
every PlayStation.
I love that one.
I know it's so sexy.
Yeah, every PlayStation controller, right? The problem I have with the PS4 controller was that this light bar thing really threw off the actual, I don't know, it's hard to say the feel or the balance of it, in my opinion. I think out of all the iterations of the PlayStation controller to date, including the PS5 DualSense controller, I think the best one was the PS3 controller.
Ooh, what?
It was light. It was light, but still had all the gyrometers and all the freaking all the rumble and all that stuff. Gross. What? My PS3
had one too many gummy bears.
My PS3 controllers are in a box somewhere. But in all seriousness, I feel like this honestly was like, you remember back when the PS3 was in prototype, and it was almost like we were gonna get a Batarang controller.
Yeah, the boomerang.
That's what this honestly is, a DualSense controller, but it makes freaking sense. And everything like the touch sensor is better. The light bar, thank God, is not like some gaudy mess it was on PS4.
I didn't say it didn't make sense. I just said I don't like it. I don't like the triggers either. I don't like the
oh, dude, I love
triggers.
The triggers are good. You know what?
The triggers get me in trouble when I'm playing Tekken. I had to remap my controls because of how the triggers sit. But beyond that, honestly, I don't know, man.
I'm a staggered stick guy too, so.
Or you're okay. Now that I have a hard time fucking with. That
I mean, that's fine.
It's something about you see. This is the PS4 controller, but with the PS5 controller, it still sits in my hand just right, and those thumbsticks are right there, all in the same plane all in the same plane angle, whatever you want to call it. See, Danny's picking at where I'm putting down.
I'm sitting here, I'm analyzing, right? Because I'm a PlayStation all the way. The DualSense is my favorite controller of all time. I love it.
This is my favorite controller.
This thing is amazing. I love this thing to death. I
wish
sit here.
it worked more with the feedback. Astrobot had Astro's play
Kills it.
absolutely demonstrated the controller to perfection. Almost nothing compares to it.
Returnal and Ratchet both did great using it. I think a lot of games don't use it enough, and they should.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I get that it's a weird niche thing that I'm sure for the PlayStation 6, we might keep the HD Rumble. I could see the adaptive triggers going away, but also I hope they don't. I do think every game should come with the option to turn it off. I understand, as I think about Returnal and Ratchet both, where they have it locks halfway through, so you have both a regular and alternate fire for whichever one you want. I think that's so sick. I love the new light bar. I had a whole argument with my chat the other day, and they're just like, they die too fast. I'm like, dog, I got 4 of these babies on deck. I got these 2 are charged. I got 2 on the cradle. The moment this one dies, on, off, we cycle, baby. We're always at the ready. Game time never ends.
They die too much. That sounds like
it's true.
That sounds like, well, no, it's true, but it also sounds like first world problems, because I mean, shit.
Yeah.
You think these controllers die too fast? Try playing a fucking ROG Ally or a Steam Deck. You think a PlayStation 5 controller dies hard? Shit.
I love my 2.5 play session on my Steam Deck.
Shit, ROG Ally. Shit, if I'm playing full tilt, I'm lucky if I get an hour and a half. Because I'm a graphics whore. I'm a graphics and a performance whore.
Remember when the Nintendo Switch only lasted for 2 hours?
Console gamers can think about so much shit. They don't understand the nuance of being a PC gamer. They don't.
the nuance of being a PC
The
gamer.
nuance, yeah. Everything has to be right. I have a 240 hertz refresh rate, and goddamn, if I better be pushing more than 200 frames. I better be, or something ain't right.
Are you counting all those frames individually, LeRon?
No, but I had the computer tell me how many frames are on the screen. So there you go.
So you have to see them. If the computer says.
Computer says it's 200. Are you sure?
I mean, my Switch says a lot of numbers on it too.
Hey, we live in it's 2024. We live in a society where we can be gullible all the time. So like, if this bitch is lying to me and saying it's 200 plus frames and it's not, like, you know what? I'm the fool.
I just work here, man.
It's okay, LeRon. The Matrix does exist.
Well, anyway, Corey's crazy. DualSense is amazing.
Yeah, I know. You know, I swear.
I'm also
Corey,
the only one that loves the Xbox here. So
you need to tell you need to let us know what it is you are like huffing, sniffing, you know, like injecting. I want some of that before the next podcast. I do.
I think it's illegal to mail my pills to you, LeRon.
And we thought Eddie Varnell had freaking hot takes. Jeez.
Whoa, okay, come on.
Be fair, yes, Eddie has hot takes.
He has the hottest of takes.
Jeez.
You don't,
guys, can we just be happy that I platinum a game? Come on.
Hey,
I'm happy
congratulations
for you.
What's the next one?
Number 2.
I've also been continuing my trek through Elden Ring, which is like might be coming to an end. I don't know. Again, it's interesting and I get the appeal, but I'm gonna hang it up. I think it's not for me. I've put about 18 hours into it. That's enough.
I get it.
5 bosses.
Here I was just getting ready to think about because I had some friends like basically try to like bamboozle me into getting Elden Ring.
Bamboozle you, huh?
Well, there's a lot of freedom in it. A lot of freedom.
Yeah, but it like the things in that game that I enjoy just makes you want to go back and play other games that are like, I don't know. I don't want to say easier because I don't really think Elden Ring is that difficult because, but it's like, I don't know. I just feel like
look
playing
at
other
Corey.
games.
He got good.
No, you just have to play the game the way it's supposed to be played, and you'll be fine. You can't you can't be all these streamers who are running around in their underwear and not leveling up with a stick and fighting all the bosses, right? Like you gotta.
I agree with that.
The normal person
attacking Elden Ring. You use magic in Elden Ring, you're not playing it right. You're like, you're
Bro,
right.
you
They
use
put all
that
these
kind of
mechanics in
build?
there.
No.
Yeah.
You wear armor. You're not playing.
You use the controller.
Huh. Yeah, you gotta use a Dance Dance Revolution pad like a real gamer.
Bro,
I just play my keyboard and my
completely
potato.
broke the game. You're supposed to dodge roll with a fatty roll.
I fought 6 bosses. I think 4 of them are like smaller, kind of catacomb style bosses. But I don't know. It's fine. It's fun. But
did you get through Godfrey the Grafted?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah. I also played a little bit of Tears of the Kingdom after that because that's the game it really made me want to play. Even though I finished it, I want to go back. I think I'm gonna do the Korok thing again and the shrine thing. Find all the things like I did in Breath of the Wild. I think
you love punishing yourself.
I think it's time. If I love punishing myself, I'd continue playing Elden Ring. On PlayStation.
Yeah, smell that 2-star review? I do.
I don't know. I feel that 2nd star getting cut in half somewhere. I've also been continuing my trek through Paper Mario. I'm almost done. I don't exactly know where I'm at. I'm ready for it to be over though. It's fun. The game is fun. It's the backtracking, and there's just in between you actually playing the game for 5 minutes, there's just so much talking and so much like, oh my gosh, just shut up. I just want to play the game, But the last thing I really have to talk about is Destiny's Act 2 of Episode Echoes has been released. We finally have seen the conductor and who's messing with the Vex. Oh man. What a cool looking villain! I got to tell you, the conductor, man, really,
Witness,
really.
And his smoky Hades hair?
No, look, the Witness is some Megamind cosplayer bullshit. Okay, like let's be real here. The Conductor is one of the coolest villains they've design wise that they've made in a while, in my opinion. I really like the story that they're heading with the Vex and Saint 14 in particular. It's very very, since it deals with robots, it's very humanistic, and it's got a real human side to it with Saint in particular, because this Saint is from a different timeline, and he's really feeling the effects of being from a different timeline, and really feels bad that he exists, because in our timeline, Saint 14 is dead. And so, and this happened a couple years ago, but they're kind of addressing it in an interesting way now. And since Saint 14 is an exo, the robot race, like, and the Conductor can manipulate the Vex milk, like, it's affecting Saint 14 in a weird way, which is cool. So I'm really interested to see where this story goes and how Act 3 kind of wraps up this episode. So very cool. Very, very cool. I suspect the Conductor will be the dungeon boss that releases in Act 3. That's my guess, at least. It's a cool character, though. Weapons are cool, too. Oh, man, they're all Vex themed. The auto rifle's cool. Oh, the scout rifle is like the long rifle, like the Tex Machina long rifles, the long shots and stuff. So cool. So good. So good. Man, I got Dragonfly on there. That perk's cool. If you get a headshot, it creates a bunch of explosions and does area of effect damage. So
blow them up.
Yep.
Damage everywhere.
Yep, damage everywhere. If you want to see how you can become a Patreon producer, head on over to patreon.com/BossRushNetwork. The Patreon producers for this month are Adriel Munger, Austin Campbell, Celeste Roberts, Christian S., Sana Dirrig, Francisco Santillan, Matthew Keel, and Todd Oxtra. Thanks for your continued support of the Boss Rush Network. But that's it. Speaking of damage everywhere, let's get into our weekly topic. Get it together. This is a topic we did a few months ago about, who's screwing up in the industry. I have some beef. This initially was a different weekly segment, but with all this garbage going on, I have some beef. I have some beef with the Xbox in particular, but we'll address that. Pat, who needs to get it together?
Well, you know what? I'm going to say, Nintendo, you need to get it together. You dropped last week one of the coolest trailers in the entire world with Mio, the smiling man who's just like got that old found footage look, wearing a trench coat and a paper bag with a smiley face on it. So creepy. And it's like, this is going to be like a Nintendo horror. And we finally got to know who is Mio.
And then
we found out that it is the next in the Great Famicom Detective series.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So Nintendo, I just want to say, what the hell?
Yeah.
Dude.
I know.
I am so impressed with your marketing skills because, damn, I actually want to get that game.
I know. Well, look, man, it got people's attention on Famicom Detective Club.
I know a lot of people got pissed when they're like, "Oh, it's a visual novel." What the, But
yeah,
honestly, I like the visual novel. So, the Smiling Man, I'll take it.
It's being produced by the Metroid producer too. Super Metroid, Metroid Zero Mission.
Well, it's the original guy that did the series 35 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, Gunboy's dead.
No, different guy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes, LeRon, you're raising your hand ever politely.
So here's the question: Did Nintendo play you guys, or did you guys play yourself? 'Cause I saw Nintendo Land going nuts about this shit last week.
Look, all I know is that this week's Nintendo Power Block that went out yesterday is totally irrelevant today. So
I'm like Home Dude and Pineapple Express. I seen it.
No, I'm cool with it because it got a lot of people talking, and then just the bait and switch there that they pulled. I gotta say, that I didn't see Nintendo having that in them.
I actually thought this was going to be Bloober Team's game, that their Project M that Nintendo is supposedly funding and publishing. That hasn't been announced yet, but is out there.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I initially thought it was. But then it came out that Nintendo was working on it in-house. I'm like, that's weird. But this makes a lot more sense for Nintendo.
I have something to tell y'all.
Uh-oh. Who's laughing?
Yeah, we're actually happy about it.
I don't care either way. If it was a horror game, I wasn't going to play it. And now that's a Famicom Detective Club, I'm not going to play it. Ed's not here. You can laugh at him. LeRon, who needs to get it together?
Nintendo.
Oh God, what now? Same.
What the fuck is up with all the damn pricing all over the goddamn place for games that have been re-released?
What do you mean?
I don't understand.
What do you mean?
Hold on. I have receipts. Luigi's Mansion 2 HD, $60.
Yeah, that's how much games cost.
Originally $40. Did they do anything? Did they do anything new and different to this game?
Yeah, they re-assetted the whole game.
This is true. It was a DS game, so
Although
DS game.
Although the Luigi's Mansion 3 still looks better, but
yeah.
Donkey Kong Country Returns HD.
Yeah,
$60.
Yeah, they HD-ified the game.
I'm with you on that one. That shouldn't have got. We should have got to do Donkey Kong.
Paper Mario and the 1,000-Year Door.
That one got
$60.
completely remade.
Yeah, it was a complete remake. But I don't know.
You know what? I can understand like Super Mario RPG. I can understand that one. I actually bought that one. I can understand.
Yep, that was $50. It wasn't.
Yeah, that was $50. That was. You see, that's what I'm talking about. It's all over the place. That one was $50. That was
the one that should have been $60 was Metroid Prime. Out of all these, to be fair.
Well, the thing about Metroid Prime kind of set the precedent, because that was called a Metroid Prime HD remaster. Am I right?
It's just called Metroid Prime Remastered.
Yeah,
Metroid Prime Remastered came out at $40. And guess what? That's a game from the GameCube generation. Paper Mario and the 1,000-Year Door. It's from the GameCube generation.
That one came out at 50.
What?
No,
Metroid.
Prime? No, $40 because like when I saw this shit on the Nintendo Direct, and I was like, oh, it's out now. Let me go look at it. And then like everybody like it was on the recording too. I was like, oh, it's out now. Let me go look for it. Oh, it's $40. I'm buying it right now. That's actually live on a podcast.
Also,
the Pikmin 1 and 2 remasters came out at the same time, and you could get them both for $50.
Yep.
Yeah, Nintendo gets y'all. You know,
they know where they can get you.
I would rather they all absolutely came out at full price versus this. I don't even know what this is. Like this is like throwing me inside of a freaking. No, I'm not gonna use that example. It's like taking one of those little rubber bouncy balls and putting it in like a little small box and just shaking it up. That's what you're doing to your fucking base. Nobody knows which way is up, who's on second, and what's running on third.
I assume they got a dartboard at Nintendo where it's like, I think that's a $40 one, baby, and then just move on from there.
Miyamoto sitting in his corner office, not making games. Just this is how much this game should cost. Boom.
Miyamoto, we need a price for the new game. 40. Go.
Yes.
How many cigarette butts are in my trash can over there?
Right.
Maybe it's just a me thing, but I don't think it's a me thing because there are people out there who actually question this too. Like the pricing for certain games, like just wild to me. And it's on Nintendo's side. You know what I mean?
Well, then, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing.
Sony and Microsoft don't have this problem. As a matter of fact, Microsoft is like, if you have Game Pass,
can't sell games to save their life.
Exactly. If you have Game Pass, you have the game.
Oh man.
Except for whatever the fuck Microsoft's doing now with their fucking.
I'm gonna get there.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to skip ahead. I'm sorry.
We're gonna get there, but
That's my beef.
Just to let you know, I am going to be buying that Donkey Kong at full price.
So am I.
God
Donkey
damn,
Kong Country Returns is the best Donkey Kong game.
I'm gonna buy it for my boyfriend at full price because he loves Donkey Kong Country. He likes the Donkey Kong Country series second to Banjo and Kazooie.
Okay. Well, you need to have a real discussion with him this time. This is
you're buying the brand right there.
Yikes.
That brand valued like a Harley.
Yep. All right. So, yep. There's my beef.
But Danny, what? Get me out of here. What? Who needs to get it together?
You know who needs to get it together? Terry Brash needs to get it together. Now, everyone's sitting here. Who's Terry Brash? Great question. Exactly who it should have been. So there is a game on itch.io called Dire Decks. It is this bottom of the screen. You play roguelike type deal. You play cards. You shoot little things that attack the enemies. Really simple game. You can play for free on itch. However, this scumbag human named Terry Brash said, I got it. I'm going to take all the assets, recycle them, put them into my game that I called, what the fuck's he call his dumb game? Wildcard, and put it on Steam with a free demo and just advertise it like it's his game.
Uh-oh.
He's like, this is my game.
Uh-oh.
Guy's a scumbag. Then, when the devs find out and say, hey, this guy is stealing my game, he doubles down on it. He takes a clip from Always Sunny in Philadelphia where Charlie jumps out the back. He's like, wild card, bitches, woo! Like, it's his game. And listen, funny meme, dickhole of a guy. And then does another one where he calls all his comment sections like, this guy is a piece of trash. So he took the Squidward meme of like, I call this bold and brash, more like belongs in the trash. And it's his face on the painting. He knows he's a scumbag. He knows he's a piece of shit. But he leaves the game up. He won't do anything. So please do not go play Wildcard on Steam. Go play Dire Decks on itch.io. The real game.
What is going on?
A terrible guy. This is probably a couple months old now, but I didn't see Terry get enough hate. And I'm not one to sit here and shove hatred to people, but Terry kind of deserves it.
Well, you shouldn't steal people's games.
Exactly.
Let's throw that out there. Shouldn't be stealing people's games. That's a shitty move.
It's so bad.
Move.
What a sleaze.
What's the real game called? So we can get support for the real game.
The real game is called Dire Decks, Dire, and then Decks, like a deck of cards.
Go support that game, everybody.
Yes, please.
Go support that game.
Literally, it's just in browser. You go in there, you play the damn thing.
Nice.
Easy peasy.
Nice. Well, my Get It Together is all about Xbox's messaging. Okay. Here's the thing. They have good news, and then they go out into their yard and step on all the rakes in the neighborhood. Okay. Right? Like, their messaging has just been so bad across the board everywhere. People are saying, like, half of the leadership saying one thing over here, the other half saying it over here. You got Satya and Nadella going out there and saying things, whatever he wants to say. And it's like, who's in charge here? Who's in charge? Who's making these decisions? And then you got the Game Pass mess, which is like, you have core and standard, which I don't know if anybody has opened a thesaurus lately, but those are synonyms of each other. And then you have some verbiage of PC Game Pass and Xbox Game Pass. And then you have Ultimate still. Your price is going up everywhere. Also, remember when they tried to double the price of Xbox Live Gold and everybody got mad at them? Well, guess what they just did with Xbox Game Pass Core? Oh, $9.99 a month. Well, guess what? That's double the price of your Xbox Live subscription.
But it's got Game Pass Core with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get to play great games like Halo 5 and Fable 3.
Yeah.
And I think Fallout 4 is in there, which is fine. But
probably.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It's just like, come on, guys. Like, what are you doing? I could sit there with my eyes closed and make a better marketing plan for you. I love Xbox. I'm the only one here that probably plays primarily on Xbox, right? Like, I think the experience on the console is a great experience just from a user standpoint. But I don't know how Aaron Greenberg still has a job. Like, he's been there for how long? I've been questioning his job for six years at least. I don't understand. The messaging has always been bad. Their marketing has always been bad. Also, their whole messaging of you don't need an Xbox, play Xbox. Rule number 1 of marketing, you don't use the negative connotation in your catchphrase. Okay? Words like don't, aren't, not. You don't use those in your marketing phrases. Okay? Like, I get that you want Xbox to be everywhere, but like, say, play Xbox in more places, right? Don't say you don't need an Xbox, because oh my gosh,
Xbox.
it's just like, come on, guys, like, get it together.
Yeah.
The Xbox is a great platform to play games on.
And a decent mini fridge.
Yeah. And a toaster. But it's like you have the best option for backwards compatibility. You have the best option for scaling games, and you know, smart delivery is a great thing for games that utilize it. Like, your first party games are finally coming. It's like, but your messaging is terrible, and all because you want to put Call of Duty on Game Pass. Like, I don't care that the prices are going up. I get it, right? I think Game Pass is a steal at $20 a month, right? Like, I would pay $25 or $30 for Game Pass. Now, look, you start getting up past $30, you might as well just buy the games at that point. But like,
yeah,
I think because I'm still subscribed to Game Pass Ultimate PC, and I'm starting to squirm just a little at the $20
you should just drop the PC. It's $12.
Yep.
Game Pass PC, $12.
Is it the exact same? Is it the exact same shit though?
It's the exact same as Ultimate, except you don't get cloud.
Same kind
I don't
of
get
logo at the cloud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the exact same thing.
Oh, see, Microsoft's trying to bamboozle my ass.
Yeah, they are.
$11.99. It's and that's the thing. Game Pass is
the EA Play.
No,
I don't. You don't.
No,
Yeah.
but what are you playing on EA Play?
You know what? I'm not playing a damn thing like this.
I went for the job to do Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare. Then that's what I.
Also, if you want to subscribe to a month of EA Play, it's $2.50. So I mean,
Oh yeah, do that. Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Xbox.com.
The
doing this live on podcast right now.
they are really pushing people towards PC Game Pass being the
yes
best option at this point. And you know, I have Ultimate because I have a cloud app on my TV upstairs that I use sometimes sparingly. And Ultimate grants me, you know, the EA stuff, which, you know, Jedi Survivors there now, and a lot of these other things. I don't understand, you know, and them taking away the day one games too from the middle tier also is of the Xbox Game Pass is not a good look, especially like if you would have done this from the start, like, okay, Ultimate, you get day one games, you only get back catalog games in the middle standard tier. Okay, whatever. But you kicked this thing off with, you know, essentially kicking it off with day one games. I think it was like 6 months after it launched, you got day one games. And now you're taking that away. And that really sucks for people who pay for Game Pass, and now you're not getting what the service, and PlayStation's service became infinitely better at this point now, which in my opinion, I would almost argue PlayStation Plus Extra was better than Game Pass for a while. But they just don't advertise it because they sell games and they sell units.
Right.
And they sell,
you know. Oh, never mind. Never mind. I can't change my pricing right now for it. Like I'm still rolled out till October at $16.99.
Yeah, you have to
find it in your phone, Google Calendar.
I have to fulfill this. Yeah.
Yeah. Just stop your auto renewal, and then once it's up, you just, you know, next time you log in, you say, oh well, PC Game Pass.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, I understand they're trying to push people towards Ultimate, and that's great, but like your whole messaging around this has just been terrible. And I need them to figure it out, because I don't care that your games are going to other platforms. I don't care that, you know, more people get to play your games on, you know, in the cloud or on their phone or, you know, on their smart fridge or whatever. But like, yes, LeRon?
$11.99 game PC Game Pass does get you EA Play.
Oh, bet. Cool.
Okay.
That's so worth it.
It's
Look at that.
EA.
Boss Rush Network. Keeping you in the know.
Top in the news.
Yep.
That's the clickbait headline for that.
There you go. You know what? Hey, when we clickbait it right.
Yeah, no, I've had Game Pass, God, for as long as I can remember. I love Game Pass, like, as a platform. It's such a,
especially
for me,
indies.
it's exactly. And like the $20 a month, I have Ultimate. I'm in the spot where I'm going to drop to PC, but I've had Ultimate because with the occasion of Still Wakes the Deep just came out 2 weeks ago, however long ago that was.
I need to check that one out.
It's pretty dope. It's pretty sick. My PC can run it, but I don't think I can stream it and run it at the same time. Trying to do from one PC wasn't going to work. So the occasion where I'm like, hey, baby brother, can I steal your Xbox so I can install this game, stream it, give it back to him type deal. That's what I've had Ultimate for like that sole purpose of when I need an actual console.
Mm-hmm.
But most of the time I'm just playing whatever cool indie games out, and then I talk about it later. Thirsty Suitors, Flock just dropped on there. Dungeons of Hinterberg drops tomorrow as of us recording. I'm like, these are bangers. I love it. So if I'm dropping down to PC, just be like, I might not be able to stream this one, or if I stream it with like less frames because my PC can't handle it, it's better than buying the new Ultimate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I don't know. I as somebody who works in marketing for a living, and they're terrible marketers, and it just feels like you have the right people in place for the most part at the top, and it just feels like there's too many hands in the pot. It feels like there's too many people trying to do their own thing.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, Xbox used to be this small portion of Microsoft, but now that they spend $70 billion, you have the penny pinchers in there like, oh, well, you need to do this, and this now because you spent $70 billion on Activision. And it's like, man, their whole plan was it's finally coming together. And now it's just like, oh, well, somebody just took a bat to my knees and I don't know, cut my arm off. And I don't know. And now I'm just struggling to get out of the tunnel. I don't know. It sucks. I just get it together, Xbox. Get it together.
Together.
Well, let's get into our next segment, our Boss Rush Banter of the Week. Remember, you can find Boss Rush Banters every day over on bossrush.net, our website. This one, in particular, has had a lot of debate. This is from our editor-in-chief, David Lasby. Shadow of the Erd Tree is my quote-unquote game of the year. And I wanted to ask you guys if DLC deserves to be game of the year. Because some people have said, you know, this DLC is amazing. It's big enough to be its own game. And I'm not just talking about Shadow of the Erd Tree. I'm talking about the Cyberpunk DLC that came out last year. I'm talking about, you know, The Witcher Blood and Wine actually won Game of the Year at the Game Awards that one year. And is that something that you guys think deserves to happen?
You know, I'm going to go first. I'm going to say no, because it requires the base game to play it. Therefore, it's an extension of the base game.
Danny, what
now,
about you?
if it was separate, like if you could play this without having the base game or having any like progress in the base game, then I could consider it.
I see.
Yeah, there are games out there that are like that too. Like it's almost like it's a like for all intents and purposes, Uncharted Lost Legacy. That was supposed to be DLC.
Yeah,
but we all know it wound up becoming its own game. But like if they decide to call it DLC, even though you did not need Uncharted 4 to play it, I could definitely follow that logic.
Mm. That's a solid point. I was gonna sit here and share, be like, yeah, I think it's valid. I think Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty being nominated, didn't play it myself. I never got back to Cyberpunk after the launch fiasco. But seeing all the love for Phantom Liberty, well deserved, I think. I would totally see a nominee for that. I'm seeing the love for Erdtree, not my cup of tea, but I really don't want to win Game of the Year again, but I do see the argument though for like needing to own the base game. Like I don't think I would say Horizon. I gotta think Burning Shores.
Yeah.
I was gonna think Frozen Wilds, Burning Shores. Not that I think it like stood the test of time to be nominated for Game of the Year. But even if it was, I still don't think it would stand a chance against whatever else is out this year. Me sitting here thinking what AAA's even came out in 2024 that I'm like, oh yeah, we're gonna have Plucky Squire this year. That's totally gonna win.
I wish
I
they
think
just
it's-
come out with a release date for that instead of keep teasing us every freaking day.
I tweeted about it today. They put out a new trailer and said, "Hey, soon. We're going to tell you soon." So
It's got to be.
my heart's
Gamescom.
ready.
It's
Yeah,
gotta be
that's what I'm
Gamescom.
thinking. Yeah. But I think if we're talking like the Jeff Keighley Awards, I think there's going to be so many more arguments around that because every gamer boy and their mother is going to be out there complaining about, well, my game didn't win because it's not fair. I think every outlet should do what they want to do. And I think that's totally cool. As I sit here and wait for this Katana Zero DLC to eventually drop, if it's good, I'm totally down for it to be Game of the Year. I'm here for it. So yeah, I'd say it's fine.
Why can't we just have another category for best expansion?
I'd be cool with that too.
Hey, that's what we did last year at the Bossies.
Yeah.
Man, the bossies.
Yeah, my answer to this is DLC should be their own category exclusive. I'm not talking about just expansions. For example, remember back in the heyday of gaming, when like
Gaming.
when games had like six, like up to six like DLCs, and they were actual valid add-on contents to games. You know, without them actually being expansions. Like for example, Monster Hunter Rise and Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak. Sunbreak is the expansion that basically turned it into a whole new game, which is kind of why I argued till we made a best expansion category for the Bossies last year.
Mm-hmm.
But Sunbreak is essentially the Shadow of the Erdtree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but okay. So, but wait a second. Because I don't follow Elden Ring that much. How much did that cost? Was that free DLC or did you have to pay for that?
It's $40.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's an expansion.
Yeah, it added like an additional 30 plus hours to the game.
Okay. See, when I have all the facts in front of me, it's easier for me to make these decisions. So Shadow of the Erdtree being David Lasby's Game of the Year, it's all in the eye of the beholder for that, you know. Because for example, like I know I'm pretty good friends with David Lasby. He does not. He's almost in the same category I'm in. He does not play a lot of games, you know, and stuff like that. So when he finds something that he actually likes and latches onto it, you know, like if he wants to call this Game of the Year, because I sure as fuck tried to call Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak my Game of the Year last year. I tried. I didn't win.
Valid pick.
I didn't win, but you know. But yeah, but I mean, you know, like I think it's all in the eye of the beholder. But if we generalize it, and you know, like in the spirit of like game journalism, which we all are all in, we have to do what's right and try to be fair about things and stuff like that. DLC I don't feel should ever be nominated as Game of the Year. The reason why is because it's enhancing a game. If they're re-releasing this game and make it the Game of the Year edition, there's your loophole right there.
My opinion is that I don't think DLC or expansion should be nominated because I think it takes away from all of the great games that are new releases and have put a lot of, you know, effort into getting their game out that year. And especially for something like Shadow of the Erdtree. And like, I don't care if people think it's the best thing they played there in like the entire year, right? Like, whatever, you do whatever. But I mean, if you're going to judge it for like an award or some sort of, you know, like when we do the Bossies this year, like it wouldn't be nominated because it's DLC, it's an expansion, right? And so I don't care if it adds 40 or 50 hours to the game. That game came out 2 years ago and has already won a Game of the Year award. And I think it takes away from a lot of the great games that have already come out this year as well, including like smaller games, you know? And I think the games that came out this year deserve their time to shine and not, kind of be in the shadows of a game that's been out for however many years and has, even though the DLC is great, right? Like the DLC, the expansion should have their own categories, right? It's the same reason why we have best ongoing game. It's the same reason why we have, all these other different categories. And some of the categories I disagree with wholeheartedly as well. But I mean, that's a different conversation for a different day. But, it's, I think expansions, it's almost the opposite argument of, I think indie games should be in the same conversation as quote unquote regular games, because their games, the same amount of effort or more effort has gone into those. And they hardly get recognized as being quote unquote real games.
And damn right they don't.
And so, I wholeheartedly disagree that expansion should be considered for Game of the Year. But everybody has their own opinion. Everybody can, who am I to tell, somebody to say Shadow of the Erdtree isn't the best thing you played this year and it's not your Game of the Year,
You're Corey fucking Dirrig. That's who you are.
I am. That is me. But
you're the boss of Boss Rush Games.
But he does not want to lose David fucking Lasby.
No, I do not. Oh man. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think it should be. I think it should be its own category. I think it should be its own award. But when you look at the games that come out every year, right? There are thousands of games that come out every year, and you're going to tell me that an add-on to a game that came out a while ago is going to win, as opposed to like these thousands of games that people put out this year. Granted, probably 90% of those don't deserve to be in the conversation, but I don't know. One of these 5-minute trophy, platinum trophy games probably don't deserve to be in that conversation. But
you leave My Name Mayo alone. That is a franchise that transcends time.
Did you play My Name Is Mayo too?
Of course. I gotta get the platinum for 3 yet.
You didn't finish the trilogy?
That one don't take minutes.
I know. I had this plan to do like 10 platinums in one stream, and then it just years went by. I'm like, it's still sitting there. I need to do it.
So anybody else have anything else to say about this topic? It's an interesting topic for sure. And I think as DLC evolves, right, this conversation maybe becomes more complicated, but
Corey's out here hurting our feelings. Again.
I'm
actually surprised I'm the only one that has this opinion.
No, because in all honesty, everything every one of you guys said tonight on this, like I'm in 100% agreement with, because the simple fact is like DLC is a really hard thing, and DLC is also controversial in my opinion. Expansions, I feel like can be in its own different category, because like that's usually a development team like taking 1 to 2 years to actually like do something to change or enhance the game, and stuff like that. But DLC was controversial because at a certain point it seemed like DLC was just like their way of milking us for money just to finish the fucking game they were developing.
Mm-hmm.
Horse armor.
Yeah, I think there's just different levels to it. I think like even as we sat here talking about like an expansion where like I don't own the main game, so I can't play it, so does it count as its individual game? But I even jump back to like what Fortnite Save the World was, and then being like Fortnite proper Battle Royale as we all know it was an expansion, was a new mode. And like I don't know if it was like Jeff Keighley Awards nominated, but it was definitely nominated plenty of other places, and now it's an ongoing title type thing. I think there's a lot to unpack there with what does and doesn't count. I will totally see Erdtree is going to be nominated this year. There's no way it's not. I think when and if it does win, that'll floodgates. Just like, is the Dave the Diver in the game? This is stupid. This is crazy. But I don't know. I don't think it will win. I'm sure. Again, I'm sitting here. What else came out this year? Maybe it will win.
Yeah, there's still a lot to come out though.
Yeah, Final Fantasy Rebirth.
That's true.
go
That's
against.
true.
Yeah.
But JRPGs, oh, you know how America is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I really hope that they add the additional category of best expansion.
I think that'd be great. I think that'd be the perfect
That
thing.
would
And-
just solve everything, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Give it the recognition, but don't have it take the recognition of best game.
Yeah.
Right.
Also, freaking split sports and racing game. They're not the same thing. Come on, Jeff.
Nobody knows.
EA wins it every year.
All right. Let's get into some of these listener questions. Remember, you can write into the podcast if you join our Discord. Look in the Boss Rush podcast thread. Look for our thread on Twitter. Email us. Leave a thing on Patreon. Wherever. We'll try to answer it. We'll get there. Onyx Lone Wolf writes in via Discord. What secondary video game character do you think deserves their own story/game franchise? Is there a secondary character that you think has a better storyline than the main protagonist?
Pat, who is it? Who is it? I know you're thinking of that one guy from that one game.
That one guy from that one game.
Sea of Stars.
Carl has
Carl.
definitely passed.
That's what I was thinking.
He does deserve his own game. What was he doing those 10 years? You know?
To
Just
be
cooking?
perfectly honest, though, Sea of Stars was Garl's game.
No, I don't think we've seen the expansion yet. We're getting an expansion for that game.
Expansion, yeah.
There's the chance it's a Garl story. I don't think it will be, but there's
It
a
wants, to
chance.
be, it wants to be Boss Rush Network's Game of the Year for the Boss.
Oh my
Let's
gosh.
go.
Man.
Great minds. Where's that book?
No. As soon as I saw this question, I was like, Garl.
Oh, look at that. Look at that.
That's fucking beautiful. Look at that.
Oh, that's so slick. That is so slick. Oh my god.
Nice.
God, I love Sea of Stars. Yeah, give me a Garl game.
Man, that'd be cool. Garl was our what was it? Biggest dork of the year or whatever.
He was the best bud.
Just him
Like
doing
that.
combat with a fucking saucepan. Come on, y'all.
Love him. We love him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
Warrior Chef.
What an awesome character.
I would also take any combination of any of the side characters from Baldur's Gate 3. Give me a Karlach game. Give me a Shadowheart game. Give me maybe not Will. Will, but not who's the guy we all hate? The dude eats all my fucking loot. I left him at the camper. I have no idea what his fucking name is. Don't give me him, but
Stephanie would know. I didn't play
Karen?
Baldur's Gate 3.
Stephanie. Oh man, guys, you're missing out.
I'm gonna say Garius motherfucking Vicarian.
I knew you were going to pick a Mass Effect character. I knew it. I
Yeah.
fucking knew it. Give me a Rex game.
Come on, watching well, Rex, yeah, because like Rex was what, like 900 years old by the time we met him in Mass Effect?
I don't know. I don't remember.
No, he was an old boy. He was an old boy.
Yeah.
but no, like Garrus, like watching him like come up through the Turian army into CSEC, and then like get recruited to the Normandy. Come on, man.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be sick.
Yeah.
Trying to think, was there ever a Final Fantasy game that starred a Moogle? Like starred.
No, 9 was
I
the
know
first
we
one.
had Chocobos have their own game.
9 was the first one that actually had a Moogle as a playable character. Am I right?
6 was Moog.
It was 6. Why did I forget that?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, let's have a Moog game, or a Moogle game.
Mm.
One that actually stars a Moogle.
Moogle Fantasy
what?
7.
Let's make it like Strangers of Paradise, Dark Soulsy, okay?
Oh, man, Strangers of Paradise, man. That's a game. Let me tell you.
Give it to Ninja Theory and let them cook with a Moog game. They can do it. I have faith.
Man. If this question was asked like 2 months ago, I would have said Zelda. For sure. But like, I still.
You know what? No, I'm sorry. I'm stealing again. Yakuza. Goro. Majima. He needs his own game.
Yeah, I know who that is.
Yeah, I haven't played Yakuza.
He's the crazy one with the eye patch.
I've
Oh,
seen
bad.
him.
Yep.
I play as
and the
iPad.
knives, and he's always curious, son. He's kind of crazy. He was also voiced by Mark Hamill in the original
Shit.
Yakuza game. Yeah.
Okay.
Did you know? Fun fact: did you know that Mark Hamill voiced Wolverine in the PS2 Wolverine's Revenge game?
That's great.
Yeah, the whole cast of like the X-Men 2 voiced their own characters except for Hugh Jackman, even though Hugh Jackman was on the cover.
Come on, Hugh.
It was Mark Hamill. So funny. I mean, I'm still gonna cheat and say Zelda, like in a Breath of the Wild style game. I still thought she was gonna be playable in Tears of the Kingdom.
You think?
I really thought. I always said that Ganon would be cool in like a Souls game based in the Zelda universe, the rise of Ganon, and like,
Ooh.
you know, we had that conversation before though, but I always thought that would be like a really, really cool, interesting story to tell and a cool way to implement that style of game into the Zelda universe. And I think the Zelda universe is the perfect universe for that if you're going to do some sort of Souls like in the Nintendo universe. So
I'm going to also throw in Virgil from Devil May Cry. Give him his own game about him trying to take over the world or like overthrow his brother or just something.
I still can't believe they only made one game in that series. I'm still waiting on that sequel from Ninja Theory.
Ninja Theory needs to do a lot of things right now.
Are you trolling us?
No, it's the only one I've ever played and the only one that I really liked.
Wait, was
Okay,
that
well,
Ninja
that
Theory
makes
or
sense.
Team
then.
Ninja?
That makes sense.
Uh,
Was that Team Ninja or Ninja Theory?
Ninja Theory.
Huh.
It was a game they did right before Hellblade, and then Microsoft bought them.
I just keep getting those two mixed up.
Yeah, that's fine. That's cool. Our next question comes from Phantom Composer via Twitter. I think this is a follower of yours.
That's
Danny.
my mod. Phantom was popping.
What indie video game universe do you think you have the best shot at surviving in with one life? Sea of Stars.
Easy. And, listen, if I get to walk around with Valir, sure, she can protect me. What's up? Easily Arcade Paradise. I'm rocking Arcade Paradise. If someone's at home like, what's Arcade Paradise? First off, it's free at Epic Game Store right now. Go grab it. But you basically run an arcade and a laundromat that are like connected to each other. I know someone wanted a cool answer like, could you beat Shovel Knight? Could you live in another Crab's Treasure? Actually, another Crab's Treasure is bad. I'd be human against a fish. I could take a fish.
Yeah, just step on it. It's fine.
Yeah, I could take a fish.
Use a spear.
Yeah. I'm gonna stick with Arcade Paradise though. Because if I'm in a game where I get to like somewhat survive without the actual repercussions of like, financial burden, I just have to like, if I open the shop today and make some money, cool. I'll just hit save and go again.
It's fair. Fair
Be
point.
in Arcade Paradise, baby.
Fair point. Fair point. Pat, you look like you're thinking hard.
I mean, there's a couple different universes.
Pat's like, I could take God of War.
God of War's indie, right? Gosh.
Destiny was indie for a while.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, obviously, a lot of the narrative games I could easily survive in one life. Like, give me, the Space for the Unbound. I'd love to live in 90s.
Yeah, but then you'd just be sad all the time.
Yeah. I mean, I could say the same thing about Until Then. It was a
Fair.
good one.
So you're gonna see Until Dawn. I'm like, no.
Until Dawn.
Don't go there.
You could survive. Somebody will make the wrong choice.
Maybe we'll see.
I'd be off that mountain so quick. Yeah.
Oh, man. So fun. So fun.
Mm-mm.
What about you, LeRon?
Let's see. See the thing about it, like I'm not a big indie person. That's the problem.
It's time to fix you. I can fix
Huh?
it, guys. I can fix it.
But I do love Kingdom Birds of Spirits. I do love Sea of Stars. Sea of Stars sounds like that's the universe I would get absolutely clapped in. It really does. Come on, like spoiler alert, we played the beginning of Sea of Stars. Like you saw what happened to Garl.
Yeah.
Right from the outset. Yeah, shit. He wasn't fine in the moment.
He was a kid. Kids always be crying.
My boy
Yeah,
lost,
he
lost an eye.
Oh, boo hoo! We'll get another
That's a
one.
whole
Yeah,
eyeball.
Did it affect his cooking? No.
Oh,
He's
no, that dude's like a 4-star Michelin chef.
Dang.
Oh, losing an eye, become a 4-star chef. I'll take it.
Oh my god, our Garo game's just cooking, mom.
Yo,
I'm here for it.
My
Oh,
question
no.
is, how does he cook with no depth perception? I don't understand.
I don't know. Did you ever play Venba? That has no depth perception.
Oh God!
Don't.
Ouch.
It was a fun game, but man. Speaking of, I'm living in the world of unpacking, man, because all I'm doing is unpacking boxes, putting stuff away.
Oh, but there's so much depressing stuff in there, man.
I know, but you get the achievement for flushing all the toilets.
Yeah, and then putting the toaster in the bathtub. Yeah, it was pretty fun.
No.
Then you move in with your boyfriend and he doesn't like your stuff. Then you move out, you're all alone in like a dinky little apartment. Then you move in with your girlfriend and everything's happy again.
I'm still alive.
Unpacking.
Mhm.
It's true. That is true.
Yeah, I'm changing my answer. I had two to think of, but you know what? I need to live in the Power Wash Simulator world.
It's a good pick too.
Mm-hmm.
You know where we're not living? Vampire Survivors. That's where we're not living.
The
Easy.
most craziest world I would probably live in, though, would be Shovel Knight.
It's a good one.
Just,
Solid.
but I wouldn't be like a knight. I'd live in like the village with all the unique people in it.
I be the shop man, the horse. One of those guys. Be a crazy guy.
Pat's the guy that sees Shovel Knight walk in and asks him to put his sword away, but realizes it's a shovel.
Oh, just a shovel? Never mind, sir. My apologies.
Hey, put your shovel away. We leave those outside. You're tracking dirt.
Oh man. Sam Hall writes in via a YouTube comment. Another great episode, guys. You guys are killing it recently. The fresh intro and cool animations are slick. Love it. Question. Thank you.
Thank you.
Question. What are your go-to comfort games? Are they your games as a service titles, your Marios, your something totally different? Thanks for keeping us sane every week.
Didn't we spotlight this on a previous episode of Boss Rush Podcast?
Probably. We've done 240 of these. I mean,
yeah. Let's see. Some of my comfort games: Mega Man 2 and 3. Mega Man 2 and 3. I would say one of the Monster Hunter games, but I feel like that's not a feel good game. That's just me like feeling like a badass game.
yeah, but it's still comfort though.
Yeah.
Destiny is my comfort game.
Mass Effect 3. I say that I put Mass Effect 3 in a higher pedestal, and I put Mass Effect 2. And Mass Effect 2 is the game that that really like got me into the series. And what else? I'm trying to think of some other stuff. Shit. Link to the Past. Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. Like a lot of my answers are going to be old school games. Trying to think of any other ones I can think of off the top of my head. Old school Tetris.
Tetris.
Yep, the Game Boy version specifically.
I've evolved since then. Tetris Effect Connected is my comfort game now.
Ooh-wee.
I've never played it. I never played it. So I'm gonna try it out.
You know what's cool? Playing Tetris Effect on my 65-inch TV with the LEDs that light up with the.
Oh yeah. Oh, I bet that's an experience.
Oh, dude, it's so good with the sound bar going off. Oh, it's so good.
Oh man.
I'm so glad I spent all that money on all this just to play Tetris. Oh,
that's it for me. I don't want to rattle on a whole bunch.
Who's next? Who hasn't gone?
I haven't gone yet.
Everybody else hasn't gone.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. All right, look, it's been a long episode. Okay.
No, right? No.
Yeah. So lately, my go-to comfort game is Power Wash Simulator.
Nice.
And luckily, they come out with an expansion every few months, so keeps me busy. But the other go-to one would be the Picross series. It's whatever one that currently is out that I've been working on. Because seriously, I could probably get a hell of a lot more video games done if I did not play Picross. Because I easily put at least 20 hours on each expansion.
Nice. There are like 800 of those games now, right?
Jesus.
Pretty much.
Nice.
Good Picross. So Cuphead was my default for the longest time. That was, we finished the game early on stream. We still got an hour. Let's like power through the game real quick. The music and then just having the muscle memory of each boss is always a great time. But also I've had 2 deck building roguelikes that just take up all my time. And that is both Balatro and Wild Frost. I will jump between those 2 on the regular, and I love them both so much.
I need to get into Balatro. That sounds
so
like a
fun.
game I would love because I love poker.
Yeah, it's funny, right? Because like I had PR emails, hey, do you want to check it out? Check out the Next Fest demo. I'm like, I don't do poker. It's not really my thing. Then the whole world blew up. I'm like, hey, can I get that key? And really, it's like, it's not so much poker as much as like, it's just poker hands. And it's really just like, when you play a poker hand, each poker hand is worth so many more points. So I played all these cards. I played a straight. It adds up all those numbers plus what a straight's worth times the multiplier. And then you have jokers that'll buff those things. So your multiplier will be times 20, times 40. You played a straight. That will also increase your multiplier, increase the amount of chips you get. It's just watching that number tick up. And your brain is just like constantly itched every time you see it. And it's
the Candy Crush
exactly
explosion factor. Okay.
Yep. It's good.
Nice.
Yeah. And the Wild Frost is just cute. The Gazeter, the artist, oh my God, they nailed it. They killed everything in that game. And yeah, you're just wandering through an everlasting winter, picking up like abandoned villagers, and they join your army as cards. You play them, attack. It's like a 6v6 type deal on the playing field and just fight each other. And there's Yetis, there's penguins, there's cool magicians and mages and stuff. Wild Frost is, oh my God, I could play it every day.
Nice. For me, it's just Destiny and Tetris. Those are like the main 2. I don't really need to talk about falling blocks and shooting aliens, but I can if you want.
I love shooting aliens in Tetris. It's so good.
Yeah, it's so good. Our next question comes from Mary Helen MH Norris via Discord. What is the most underrated game you've played? Most underrated game, man. I can tell you that I really, really, really enjoyed Outriders that nobody seemed to like.
You consider Outriders underrated?
Yeah, dude, that game was awesome. That was the second best game I played that year, behind Halo Infinite.
I'm gonna go back in the archive. I'm gonna go back in the archive for this one because I actually was because I was actually doing some cleanups in my emulators, and anyone remember Brave Fencer Musashi for PS1?
That's a good one.
Yeah,
very underrated. Very underrated.
Man,
up in there.
That game was the one hit fighter, right, with the swords and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, that wasn't.
That wasn't.
No, that was Bushido Blade. Never mind.
You were thinking you did say fighter. I was here thinking the guy is the fighter. That's what I was thinking.
No.
Dang.
Musashi was the fighter.
No,
Never
it's
mind.
not.
It's like when LeRon said that, I'm like, what?
You agreeing to?
Yeah. Oh, another underrated game. If we're on Square Enix for a hot second, Einhander.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Really, Corey?
I didn't.
Really?
I said.
Yeah.
I've never played it, so I don't have an opinion. Zero opinion, sir.
Shrugs and nods.
Actually, you know what? Shout out to an underrated game that we played for book club. Beacon Pines was really fun.
Ooh, okay.
Beacon Pines was really fun.
Cool game.
There's a game I really liked for the original PlayStation. It was called Cartia. It was a tactical.
Wait, was it? One more time?
It's called Cartia.
with a K, right?
Yeah.
I played that game.
It had a mono, the illustration designer for the old Final
Yes,
Fantasy
yes, I remember that game.
art for that game. I really liked that game. I wish I had it. That makes me sad.
I'm just going through all the games that I have achievements for right now. Ravenlock was awesome.
Yeah, I get back to that. I haven't touched it since the first expansion.
Yeah, they have a
First update.
fully rotating camera now.
Thank the Lord. I had my review out from that, and that was like my biggest complaint during like the big Clockwork Bird fight.
Oh
Where
yeah,
he would like dash past you. I'm like, I can't fight him. He's out of my vision.
yeah,
And I keep getting the like the camera can turn. I'm like, now it can.
yeah. Now
This review's old. Shut up. Yeah,
You said
which is
it,
super
but
nice.
no.
But it's a great game.
Oh man, good times.
Mine one from last year, and I had to check. It only has like 2,600 Steam reviews, so maybe not as underrated, but they're overwhelmingly positive. But everyone needs to go play In Stars in Time. It's a very like Earthbound type RPG. But you're playing as like a like D&D party kind of, not actually D&D, but like adventuring party, like headed to the final boss. And your main character is trapped in a time loop. So you go in, you fight a boss. If the boss kills you, you reset and you're in loop 2. And you're like, oh shoot, well now what? You go back in, you find out the door's locked, but we left like the key is on a previous floor and we can't go back. So you die the next time through. On floor 2 you need to stop and grab that key, go back in. Eventually, as you do it, you can fast forward through parts that are super repetitive. It's super emotional. It made me cry multiple times. There's depression, self-doubt. There's a lot of hot button topics in there. It's a lot, but it is such a masterpiece. And I'm like, people play this goddamn game.
That sounds like a indie game I played. I'm trying to remember.
Okay.
I was like the last 5 minutes, or it's a game where you start off at the final boss, but all of a sudden you have complete amnesia of what everything transpired up to that point. And so as you're fighting the final boss, your character is like trying to recollect his memories.
Yeah.
What the heck was it called?
Yes, I don't know if I know that one.
It's 5 something. I don't know if it was like 5 Minute Hero.
Is it?
Let me see if I got 5 minute.
No.
5 minute climb, 5 minute raid. The longest 5 minutes.
I think a 30 hit. No, the longest 5 minutes.
Yep.
Thank you. Yes,
I do remember this one. I never played it, but I remember seeing it.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's what it was called.
Pick.
All right, our last question here is straight from Cordy Yikes for Danny mostly. Yeah, it's really not about us at all, guys.
Hey, Cordy.
She asks, my question is, how did you get started in indie to where you decided, quote, this is what I'm going to create?
So I've always loved indie games, but gotta take it back to freaking childhood here. I was like a Nintendo gamer growing up. It was Mario, the occasional, like a lot of a THQ movie type deal games on my like Wii and shit. But I remember getting into Skyrim, getting into Call of Duty, and like eventually I'm like, let me try the Tomb Raider, Hitman Absolution, Sleeping Dogs, and like all my friends didn't like those. If they weren't Halo, Call of Duty, I was like the weird one for playing those.
If your
But I've
friends
always
didn't like
loved,
Sleeping Dogs, then they weren't.
God,
your
they're so
friends to
dumb,
begin
right?
with.
That's what I'm saying. Sleeping
Yeah.
Dogs, give me another one, dude. That's such a good game.
Dude, I would love that.
Oh, love Sleeping Dogs.
Rip United Front.
Yeah. But no, I always would kind of like play all these, we'll say unique, but like I just, in my circle of friends, people I knew in real life, like didn't play the games that I did. So I always just kind of like played these ones like, cool, that was awesome, on the shelf to never talk to anybody about it. Eventually I met friends in college who were way cooler, played way more games that I liked. Me and a couple of buddies sat down and said, let's just stream some Dead Rising one night. And as we evolved in like the Couch Gnomes, I eventually took the channel like as a whole, CGDannyB. And I probably think the game that sent us into like we are doing indie content was There Is No Game, Wrong Dimension. Which
I remember that
is
one.
really cool. It's a cool game. It's
Seriously,
a plain
there's
fucking
no
adventure.
game.
Yeah, the whole and it started as like I think an itch game where it's just there is no game and the whole thing is pressing buttons, but like it's not a traditional game. It's so hard to explain without having it in front of you. But I remember my chat really enjoying Wrong Dimension. It has a lot more narrative. It cuts to different types of games, but those games still aren't games, so that's the whole narrative. And like these experiences are just so much better than the predictable, like, all right, here we go. I'm playing that Call of Duty campaign where the bad guy blows up at the end. Let's get it. So from there, I'm like, I guess we'll just start doing indies more. And yeah, they're niche and sometimes not everyone's for every person. So audiences are kind of sparse for it, but man, the indies do it better, dog.
You know what? My favorite, I think one of my favorite games of all time, I think most people consider it an indie game, is Death's Door.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's
it's
indie.
so
Like,
good. Oh my God, it's so good. I love it.
That was a good one.
It's probably like it's on the level of Breath of the Wild for me, where like I think about it at least once a week and think about going back and playing it again at least like once a week.
Yeah.
It's
an
incredible game.
I don't 100% things on Steam. I don't do Steam achievements. I'm like PlayStation, like that's my thing. But I was like, I want to get everything in Death's Door. And then I did when the PlayStation version came out. But yeah, Death's Door is so magical. It's such a good one.
Oh, it's so good, man.
God, I love
It's
Death's Door.
good. I think I own it on 3 platforms now.
Okay.
Because I bought it
edition, so let me see.
I have it. It's back there on my shelf I have it for Switch, the collector's or the ultimate edition, I think is what it's called. But man, Death's Door is so good.
It's so good. People, please go play Death's Door.
Yes. Yes. It's so good. Oh, it's so good. Well, speaking of good, the good times are over. We did it. We did another episode in the bag.
Woo.
Danny, thank you for joining us tonight.
Of course.
Where can people find you?
You guys can find me on the internet. That's where I live. Over on YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, TikTok, at CGDannyB. We stream on Mondays and Thursdays at 6 p.m. Eastern, and then Saturdays at 1 p.m. Eastern. Also, right now, we have a D&D thing going on Thursday nights where it's a My Hero Academia campaign on Crit Hit Chronicles. But that's fun. We love My Hero, dog. It's great. But yeah, we're always checking out cool indies. We're playing Dungeons of Hinterberg. I'm sure Bo will be in there next week. I think we're planning a Chained Together stream here in the coming week. So stay tuned. Come check out some indie games because, listen, you guys need something to play. You need something new to play, and I got you.
Nice. Well, everybody out there, thank you so much for watching and or listening to this episode of the Boss Rush Podcast. You can catch new episodes every Monday. Remember, if you're a $1 patron, you get the pre-show along with several other things like early access to After Dark, expansion pass, all these things.
Yeah, those things. Keep your mind out the gutter.
Whoa.
Until After Dark.
I'm worth way more than $1, LeRon.
I know you are. But why do you pedal yourself off for $1 though? Is my question.
I don't know. It should be $10.
I'm pretty sure your wife would like that extra money. I'm pretty sure she would.
I mean, look, she can make a lot more money than I could by itself. So, be honest here. You can subscribe to us on YouTube if you don't want to support us financially. It's okay. Just like the video, leave a comment, leave us a 5-star rating and a review on your podcast service of choice. Check out all of our content on bossrush.net. LeRon, Pat, Danny, thank you for your time tonight.
Of course.
Appreciate you all. I appreciate you all out there. Thank you so much for listening. And until next time, we love you. Goodbye.
Bye.
If you want to see how you can become a Patreon producer, head on over to patreon.com/BossRushNetwork. The Patreon producers for this month are Adriel Munger, Austin Campbell, Celeste Roberts, Christian S., Sana Deering, Francisco Santillan, Matthew Keel, and Todd Oxtra. Thanks for your continued support of the Boss Rush Network.